Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is August 9th, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review where I'm reviewing an SPX and Condor trade. That's a 10 wide, 0.2 delta, 0-day options. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor, please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. This is the trade that I'm doing in the virtual account to kind of train myself to see, how this trade works in different market conditions. That's one of the things that I will be picking up here. And the other thing is, coming up with some rules and some guidelines on when I should be placing this trade and when I shouldn't be placing this trade. The thing is, since it is a virtual trade and I'm trying to understand and learn all this stuff, and also the other thing that I'm looking at too is, can I trade something else, still around SPX and all, and the 0-day options? I'm looking at that, trying to see if I can day trade them or what kind of day. I'm looking at I need to try to do some different types of day trading strategies maybe around with these 0-day options, so because again, this iron condor, or should I get one-sided? What should I do? I'm going to start looking at that here these last 6 months from what it looks like with this volatility being low. Because the thing is, with this trade right now, one of the things you can't get enough, you don't get enough credit, number one. Getting less than $2.50 credit on this trade and it going bad against you is too big of a loss when you start having a loss with this trade, and that's what I'm beginning to see. I had a couple days like that this week. So that's a no-go. I can scalp these options sometimes pretty good, but I got to be on top of my game. And actually looking at the SPX, it's not something I'm getting more and more. I've been looking at it here for 6 months now. I think I would be, on top of this. But I haven't been really, I kind of trade, I usually trade the Qs. It's my thing that I like trading. And I haven't been really on top of looking at the SPX for scalping and day trading. I do it a little bit after I'm done with my Q trades. And trading it later in the day is different than trading it first thing in the morning for me. So again, that's one of the things I'm beginning to look at also, because I still want to try to get to that 1M by the end of the year. And I'm going to start really focusing on that, but I'm going to have to start looking at other strategies. The thing is, my Q strategy actually works pretty good, but I'm doing that in my live account, and trying to switch over here to this doing a virtual trade later in the day. It's a little bit different play, and you have to kind of like wait for the setup and all. And I'm gonna start looking, and it happens at times, and it happens a couple times a week at least, So I'll be looking at that too, but I won't be showing that. This whole video series is all about trying to do this iron condor and get to 1 million and doing this 0.2 delta thing to see how well it works. Right now, what I've learned that it doesn't work, in low volatile markets. That's number one. You do not get enough credit. So, but let's go ahead and go on. I'm kind of giving you a little heads up about what I've been seeing here, and I'm getting those crazy feels now. Because you get volatile, you get the big spikes, and when you get those spikes, the options go crazy, and you get crazy feels at a virtual account. Very seldom. Sometimes you might get that in your live account, but very seldom do you actually get those kind of feels in your live account. I do get those crazy feels, sometimes with my directional trades, but I use limit order. So the thing is, those limits, those spreads where how it jumps past the price that I'm in. Sometimes it nails to the price that I'm at. I see that happening, and sometimes it'll feel me, and sometimes it won't. It's all according to how close I am to when they jump, and those numbers jump like that if I get filled or not. So giving you a little heads up on some of that stuff too that I see, and that's the other thing. And I know in a virtual account those things gonna get filled, but I see in a live account I'll be the guy sitting up there on the bid or the axe and all that I don't get filled. So that's the thing when it comes to trading in a virtual account, is the feels. And that's what trading is all about. You got to be in the market and you got to be out of the market to be able to make money, either whatever direction you're actually trading. But let's jump over here and take a quick look at this week. Like I said, the couple of days were bad days. I had a couple of good days that were good days, and one day was a very small day, but it wasn't a good week. The thing is, the account is getting where it's going sideways. And I've ran into this before, actually, with my live account and my other accounts. And this is the time, if I see I'm dropping, I usually just stop trading completely. Or if it's in somewhere where I end up pulling my money out and throwing it somewhere else. and all where I can't trade it and all. So that's what I usually do. But right now the VIX, as we can see, here's 17 on the VIX this week, 17 right here. So we was above 17 the first couple of days, and we was okay right here. This morning, with that morning there, Thursday morning, we started out below, and Friday morning we started out below 17. And this Friday was a big loss, big loss. Call it. This was a big loss day, and all right here. Thursday, I think Thursday was okay day and stuff. But when we was up here like this, and this day, Tuesday gave me, I think Tuesday gave me a crazy field day. And Monday was a loss day. Actually, with the VIX being up, it ended up being a loss day, because I guess the VIX started trending down, directional type stuff end up killing you on that. So that's the thing that's with the VIX there. But let's go ahead and look at each individual day and see how they looked. On Monday was a loss day, like I said. Again, with these, I try to keep the losses down and all. I don't want it to be any more than $2 and all. And this is right. I got this one right here at $2, and that's probably what it was. I'm looking over at my other thing, and it was right at $2 and all. And that's where I want to keep it at, because usually if I'm trading live and I'm trading something else also live, I usually can make $2 back with no problem. So I want to get in the whole mindset. Don't let your losses get more than $2 on you. If you're going to be trading this live, or how you trade this thing, But again, I placed that on Condor at 63.10, 63.20 on the call side, 62.45, 62.35 on the put side, around that 0.2 delta. I received a $3 credit, and I had to close it for $5. It was moving up against me, and as you can see, if I had stayed in that trade, I would have had the mother of all losses, because this thing would have went through both strikes in the close of business, and even by that 11 o'clock time frame where I want to be out of this trade, it would have still been up there, and it probably would have been a much bigger loss than this $5, this $2 that I actually took on this trade and all. Next day, Tuesday was Tuesday's the day that I got the crazy feel. Again, and that happens. The options do go crazy at a time in the market. And I'll tell you, it's around between that 9:40 and 10 o'clock, then closer to around that 10:30 time, then sometimes around that 11:40, as you can see, 10:45 to the 11 o'clock time frame. You get some crazy stuff happening with the options. And those of you who knows what's happening with markets are closing around the world, and you start getting that crazy stuff and all. This day on Tuesday, I was able to place that on Condor at 63.55, 63.65 on the call side, 6300, 62.90 on the put side, around that 0.2 delta. Received a $2.95 credit, but it gave me a crazy feel of $1 around the 10 o'clock time, as we can see. And as you can see, if I would end up staying in that trade, it would have been still a loss. It would have been really close. It would have been really pretty close. And at around 11 o'clock time frame, I would have been struggling, trying to figure out what to do. But by this, I would have to end up staying into this trade a little later and all in the day, and it probably would have got me out, based on the 25% that I want to receive on these trades. But let's go to the next day, Wednesday. As you can see, Wednesday was another day. Was a good day based on just the trade itself. It kind of stayed sideways for us, up to about that 11 o'clock before it actually went up there. And it got me out probably close 9:40. It got me out. It was another one of those crazy feels. Again, 9:40 right here. It was around here in this time frame when it started trying to shoot up and all. But it's usually on when he makes these jumps in the market and stuff. But this one here, I was in that iron Condor at 63.35, 63.45 on the call side, 62.75, 62.65 on the put side, around that 0.2 delta. Received the $3.15 credit. Was able to, it closed for $2.25. And let's see again, in that trade at 9:34, out of that trade at 9:41. That was pretty quick, and I say pretty quick now based on some of the stuff that I've done before. I know that's pretty quick, And again, as you can see, this thing ended up trading going. These purple lines are the lines that I actually sold. That's the call line that I sold. That's the put line that I sold. If it goes past those lines, you're looking at maximum loss usually. And that's the whole thing. And that's why I just like identifying those on there. And to show you, holding this right now based on this way when volatility is low like this, holding these things to the end of the day, you're going to have more losses than you're going to have winners trying to hold these things. And even again, one of the other things that you can probably do, one of the things that I'm seeing, instead of trying to get 25% credit, you only get maybe a 10% credit, maybe a 20% credit, maybe a 15% credit. You end up trying to get a smaller credit. So now if you get in a smaller credit on this thing, should you just be doing something different? And that's why, again, I'm looking at doing something different. Let's go to Thursday. Thursday was the day I know I only took 20 cents. This was another day where this thing was going sideways. I was kind of expecting this thing to get me. It didn't get me out early. Then it started trending down against me. And I decided it ended up going against me. And I got 11:53 around 12 o'clock. This thing started coming back. It was down. It's kind of hard to believe that I got that this time cannot be right. Let me go look at that right quick. And let me see if I can get this is Thursday. And what day is this? Is on the 7th. Let me just, I'm over here on another screen. And I want to see that. On the 7th. Yeah, that's not right. I got $2.60, $2.40, but I was out of this trade at 10 o'clock. That's the thing. I knew that time wasn't right. It got me out at 10, and all. That's the only thing here. I knew that time wasn't right. If I got out of that trade, I didn't get out of it at that time. That's for sure. And let me just say okay. So that's better, and that kind of lines up with what I see going on here. The market was actually going sideways for a little bit there, and then when it made this little crazy thing to start going to the downside, you can probably I still wasn't at a point to get out for my 25%, but I started me watching the market. I decided, okay, let's take a small credit now because this thing may just go worse on you. And it did ended up dropping down on me and going further down, and it would have been a mother of all losses again that day. But let's go to Friday. Friday was a bad day. Let's go there. Friday was another day. This market just took off. This is why I'm saying with my directional trades, I am doing actually pretty good in my live stuff, and I'm trying to think, I want to start doing this. I need to start. I can't do this. I can't do both. I need to make real money. Bottom line, I cannot look at. I don't mind. This is kind of like a mechanical trade. This is kind of like you put it on and you see what happens. Putting it on at the 10 o'clock time again would have gave me a little bit more room, and the market would have had already made its move. That's another thing that I can probably look at with this trade is decided, okay, definitely 9:30 right now based on market conditions. Putting this trade on first thing in the morning when the market is making a move to the upside or to the downside, and it usually only lasts around that first 30 minutes, and wait, when the market is actually going to calm down. That way you got more room to the top, more room to the bottom for this iron condor trade to actually work. Maybe I'm going to change that up where I'm going to start changing my entry time to 10 o'clock and see how that works. That's something I could do, where I can still be pretty mechanical with it, and I can still do, well, that'll mean I'll be doing this trade after my other stuff, and I won't. It's kind of like this is kind of nice to keep me settled because it takes me less. I'm usually in this trade. It gives me that 5-minute wait period that I want before I actually place a live trade. I want to wait 5 minutes before I place my live trade in my other accounts. So this was ideal for me to just be throwing this out there and seeing what was happening with this virtual trade, and it kept me out of from looking at the market and getting too edgy and too jumpy to want to go ahead and place a live trade when I shouldn't, when I haven't really gathered enough information for myself to place a live trade. This kept me kind of calm, but now I'm beginning to see I need to probably wait for this trade if I want to actually go live with this trade at any time, and during low volatile times. Maybe 10 o'clock is a better time. That's all I can say. But I did place this trade, and as you can see, I did end up getting that loss. It was right around that. I only got a $2.50 credit. That was the other thing. Volatility had dropped. Volatility was below 17 at that time. I was debating about putting this trade on. I said, okay, if I can get a $2.50 credit on it, I'll do it. And they failed me for $2.50. But then again, as you can see, it went straight against me. And I ended up closing this trade for $4.95. I placed that Condor trade at 63.85, 63.95 on the call side, 63.25, 63.15 on the put side, around that 0.2 delta. And I was in that trade at 9.36. I had to end up closing around 10 something. And as you can see, if I end up trying to maybe later on the day or a little bit before 12, I might, based on this drop right here, probably could have got out of this trade with that 20% or maybe a little bit better profit on this trade. Maybe, I wasn't looking at it. I actually had some other things I ended up doing. I think on Friday. I know I didn't do this and all. Oh yeah. I had some other things. I did have a couple of I did have another appointment to go to, and all. Yeah, and so I didn't I couldn't wait on this thing all day, and I had already done my other trading and stuff, so I kind of let this go. But that's it. That's pretty much here on looking at the charts and all. Let's just take a quick look at. I'll take a quick look at some of the days and all. Let's go back to the 4th. Go back to Monday, and I bring that screen there over. I just bring it over to here and all. And as you can see, it was one of those days where I took a loss, but I did go in there and I tried to make it back. I don't know if I made it back or not, but that's the whole thing with these things and all. That's that. On the 5th, I did just that trade. Again, I was in it. Again, this was the crazy field day and all. On the 6th, it was clean day. This day right here, like I said, that's one clean day this week, so far. The other day was a crazy field day. And let's go to the 7th, and this was a clean day right here, but I only took 20 cents, and this day would have got crazy, And then on Friday, don't even want to show that. I probably did close to 50. I did a crazy. I don't know why I did that. I had other things to do later. I just went wow, crazy trading. But that's pretty much it. That's all I really want to show. Because I did a lot of other stuff, and I hope this thing I might start putting this trade on at 10 o'clock, see how well that works. Again, because all this trending stuff that's happening in the morning is definitely not working for this trade. If this was actually a live trade, I would be done with this trade for now, and be doing something different. I'll just stick to the other things that I am already doing, and this trade will be no longer on the table because number one, volatility is too low, so you don't get enough credit, and you got the market trending against you. You do not have that. You don't have a couple things really working for you anymore. Before you had volatility being high with volatility contracting, also with time being short and with time contracting on you also. So you had at least two things working for you, and direction wasn't really trending that hard on you. Now you got multiple things against you. You got volatility low. You're not getting enough credit on this trade. You got volatility maybe even spiking on you, making where that low credit that you got is getting that trade is actually going against you because that amount of credit that you can receive to that credit is going up instead of going down, even though you have time passing. And our time is just so inflated that you're not making and the other thing is not that it is so inflated. The market is actually trending in a direction where it's going to give you the maximum loss on one of the sides of your trade. So again, this is not the ideal trade to be putting on at this time, based on what I've seen and my opinion. And I've noticed a lot of other people have decided this is no longer a good trade for them too, and it makes sense based on what's going on in the market at this time. It's just this is not the trade. You got to go to your other tools, your other things that you have, your other strategies that you have, and let this one go forth until volatility gets back up and the market actually is making making crazy moves, but during the day it kind of settles out. Right now, the market is actually trending too much. It's making crazy. It's nice for day trading right now with all the crazy moves that it's doing, but it's not good for this iron condor trade, and that's all I really have to say about that. And that is my opinion based on what I'm seeing happening and based on what I'm seeing happening with these trades at this time too. So that's all I really want to share. This is a Right Side Trader. Hope you guys finding this helpful. I'm definitely learning a lot, and I will get to my number. It's just that since this is a virtual thing, normally I would stop. No, because I lost a little bit of money. I started losing a little bit of money, and I made money. I don't want to give it all back. But this virtual thing, I got to get myself to a place where I'm gonna start doing other strategy, and I'm gonna change this strategy up just a little bit and see how well it works there. Because this is all about learning and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So I think I'm gonna change to that 10 o'clock time frame, Eastern, and placing it at that time, and see if I can actually do that. And I got to find something else to occupy myself that first 5 minutes to keep myself from not screwing up with my other trades and all my live stuff. But that's it. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I know I got a little long here, but it's kind of like been picking up a lot here in these last couple of weeks, having these tough weeks and all. So that's when you start really learning. The thing is now to make the changes that are necessary in order for you to keep the account growing and all. And that's it. That is really it. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye.